All right, guys, you've been given a prescription to watch shoulder pain, phase 1, mobility, and stretches. In this, you're going to need a lacrosse ball, tennis ball, foam roller, and you'll need a resistance band. Voodoo floss, if we specifically told you to watch this, or specifically told you that you actually need the voodoo floss band. This is very specific for specific cases, but it may benefit you if we do it in the office. I'm going to go ahead and have you do it at home too. So to start out with, I'm going to show you how to voodoo floss. RogueFitness.com has these. This is the Xtomic. That's the best one they make. So what you're going to do is you'll have your husband, wife, partner, whoever it might be, start at the top of the shoulder. They're going to pull it tight, and they're going to go all the way around the shoulder joint. Each time you're pulling it down tight, what we're doing is we are trapping the fascia, the skin, and the muscles and allowing them to glide better. Once you get this tight around, you can tuck it in if you need to. If they have a big shoulder, Dr. Toby has a nice petite shoulder. So then you're going to take it through a range of motion, okay? All the different ranges of motions you can. Pull it across and do a classic shoulder stretch with it. Pull it above, do a classic tricep stretch with it as well. You can also go ahead and foam roll it while this is on. You're going to only leave it on for 1 to 2 minutes. But as you're foam rolling it, you're going to target this area. If your hand starts to become numb or you lose circulation like Dr. Toby's starting to turn white, it's time to take it off. Leave it on for 1 to 2 minutes max. There should be no pain. You may get a little pinching of the skin and have some marks. That's okay. It's just the capillaries. It'll go away quickly. But that is voodoo flossing the shoulder. Same rules will apply using a lacrosse ball going into the foam roll, or not the foam roller, but the voodoo floss as well. So that's voodoo floss, RogueFitness.com. You may need that if you have frozen or you have pain moving the shoulder. Next thing you're going to have is the tennis ball. This is the lacrosse ball. I definitely want you to progress to the lacrosse ball. Rule of thumb with this is 15 to 30 seconds on any tender spot that you find. So you can take it with your hand, and so use your left hand, and you're going to drive it into any of the tender spots. If you find a tender spot, hold it for 15 to 30 seconds. Slight circles will help it increase its blood flow and mobility. You also can lean up against the wall. You can lay on your back. So let's go ahead and show them on your back. We'll move this roller out of the way. So go ahead and position where you think it would hurt through here, and you can apply pressure through there. You can have a loved one apply a little pressure as well. Or you're going to rotate it back to the back side of the capsule, and you can work your range of motion through there as it's targeting that posterior capsule through there. If you have more shoulder pain that is more towards the spine, the ball will go right on the muscle. Don't put it on the spine, don't put it on a bone, only on soft tissue and muscle. 15 to 30 seconds. If it's too sore to place on there, don't do it. After that, we're going to utilize the foam roller. Now the Move Sport is our favorite. Basically, it's designed for people with upper back thoracic problems, but for the shoulder, it works great. So she's going to lean back straight into it, and she's going to target her upper back with it. Go ahead and cross your arms for me and lift your hips up off the ground. And so she's going to come right into that position, and she's going to drive pressure into the upper trap. She can lower it down into there if she needs to as well. Go ahead and come up. She's also going to roll to her side and lay straight onto the muscle of the shoulder. And you're able to use your opposite hand to lift yourself up so you don't apply too much pressure at first. 15 to 30 seconds on each tender spot. Good. Come up. This time, she's going to target where if you've ever had a massage, you hate to get worked in this area. It's just super tender. It's uncomfortable. It's because no one ever taught us how to stretch it or work it. So she is going to target either the tennis ball or lacrosse ball in this spot here, through here, laying on it, or the foam roller. So she's going to reach her arm across, and she can support herself and stabilize and apply the amount of pressure that feels so good, hurts so good, 15 to 30 seconds with the foam roller. So from there, we're going to have her lay straight on her back. So again, right now we're working on mobility, and the reason we're doing mobility with the foam roller, with the voodoo floss, and with the lacrosse ball is to increase tissue suppleness and also increase blood flow before we stretch. So if you have a golf club is perfect. If not, everyone has a broom at home. Make sure the broom is rounded and not sharp. It doesn't have a hook or anything. It's nice and smooth. So you're going to put it right up against the wall like this, and the top of her trap is going to go right into here. So it's going to go just like this. So she is going to put it up against the wall. Knees are going to stay bent, and she's going to allow that golf club to sink right into the trap. She's then going to take her right arm that she is targeting with the trap, and she's going to take that arm above her head. Go ahead. And if there's pain with that, you'll stop, but try to get through your full range of motion. This will be one of the spots that one of our soft tissue specialists, one of the doctors, will be working on with you for your shoulder pain, even your neck pain, to improve your range of motion. So those are the main exercises or mobility exercises we want you to do for phase 1 of shoulder. So I'm going to go right into the stretches that I want you to do. So you can stay on your back. Let me sit this down. And she's going to go in just into the classic shoulder stretch. Classic shoulder stretch is going to be at 90 degrees. Elbow's going to be locked, and she's going to reach across, get her other hand, and she's going to pull. This is going to lightly stretch this posterior capsule. You're going to hold that for 5 seconds, work up to being able to hold it for 15 seconds. If there is pain in the front, then you want to avoid this. You may have an anterior capsule or a bicep tendon issue, and you need to let us know, and we'll target that on your next visit. From here, go ahead and sit up for me. She's then going to do a classic tricep stretch. Arm's going to go above. She's going to drop this down, and she's can use her other arm to reach it. If that other arm has pain as well, you can get up against a door frame. So relax that. You can get up against a door frame. So say my arm is the door frame, and she's going to lean in. This gives a beautiful stretch to the tricep, the lat, and the serratus anterior. 15 to 30 seconds holding that. From here, if you're on the door frame, doing this door frame stretch, we're going to go into the classic pectoral stretch. Elbows at 90 degrees, up against the doors. She's going to apply pressure. It's going to lengthen the pectoral muscles, stretching, opening it all up. She's going to be below 90 degrees for 30 seconds. She's going to be above 90 degrees for 30 seconds. If you have numbness, tingling while you're sleeping, do this stretch. It's almost a guarantee it'll help. Drop it down. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to use a resistance band. So this is the best resistance band that you can get for just about all uses except for pull-aparts. We're not going to use this on pull-aparts. We're going to do a band distraction. So you can have one of your family members hold the band for you. We're going to circle it through your arm, and we are going to distract the shoulder backwards. Keep your shoulder neutral. So let them pull gently, and this is just mobilizing the shoulder joint posteriorly. From there, we'll walk it to the front and retract backwards, and we're going to distract forward. And the last thing you'll do, loop it through your hand just like this. So they'll loop it through their hand. They're going to grab. You got it? And you are going to lay on your back now. So have your husband, family member, do a light distraction. Does that feel good?
That's good.
And if it hurts when distracting, let us know. We then want you to allow your husband or loved one just to compress. So if distraction is painful, we'll do the opposite direction for them, and we'll just lightly compress, about as much pressure as you would break an egg. Light compression. If that hurts, then distraction should feel good and you'll distract out. It just resets the whole capsule. This is phase 1 for shoulder pain